The stuff you said after the game the other day, about the bracket reveal, do you share that with your team, or do you not get into that one now?
Oh gosh, no. I'll give you a funny one since we're on top of comedy. How much do you guys remember when you were 18 or 19 to 22? You don't think like adults.
I'll ask them.
Yes.
Yeah, like the post game speech was birthday cake for Amari and Jaime. Anything else I said was a waste of time. We won by 35. It was Saturday night. It was typical beautiful night in Westwood on on a birthday weekend. If you think them guys were listening to anything I said, they were trying to get a shower and do exactly what I would have been doing when I was 21, and especially if I went to school here. get outside of here and get into Westwood. I can't imagine a better place to be at 21 years old. The weather in this campus and everything about it. So I didn't even talk about the game, man. Sang happy birthday to those two guys. Be careful, get your rest. And I went to talk to some recruits. I mean, so my point, Ben, is they're not Dave's extremely mature guy. The older guys probably, but you think that any of them watched Kansas TCU last night? You know what I'm saying? And it's just they're not us. I know probably fans are like, what do you mean they don't? No, they don't read bracketology. They're on social media.
How special of a team do you think you have right now?
I don't look. I tried. I've gotten older, and at some point, somebody said this, and I try hard with this. If you make it about the players, then it takes the pressure off of you thinking about I got to win to keep my job, and you try to make sure you make it about them. Now, you say, what do you mean you're so hard? Hard on them. Well, no, I'm the way you should be. Kids haven't changed. The problem is adults have. I just try to do what I think is right for them. Teach them right from wrong. Teach them accountability. Teach them what's going to be required of them in the real world. But, you're not going to be on the team here if you're a bad guy. So, I've had the guys, I've had, Chris Smith, for the guys who, that've been here, he was an unbelievably nice kid. I love all my teams. Now I think we have so on the basketball side, if that's what you mean, being special. We have it's like a race car. You have to have different components, right? And we have some components that match well. Jaime can get tough baskets, while Jalen Clark can make great defensive plays that you don't normally see. Jaime makes shots you don't in a college game that you don't normally see. So they complement each other extremely well. Amari, great athlete. Tiger, veteran, consummate, thinking point guard. Amari, super talented, explosive guy. Complement each other well. Adem, unbelievably talented young athlete. Kenneth Nuba, big, strong, tough veteran. So you see, I'm then you come in off the bench. Dylan, change of pace, ball pressure guy for Tiger. Dave, here comes the best six-man in the country. He's like a starter. So we get sometimes you have a bunch of talent, but it don't fit. So these guys complement each other well. I think that's why we've been able to. What's our record?
23-4.
To do pretty well. So you got to have. If everybody can score, nobody can defend, or everybody can defend, nobody can score. And they got to be good guys.
How do you keep them from not looking forward ahead? Ahead to.
What
do you do? What do you do for that?
We have talks all the time, but it's normal for us because I talk to them about life, and what I know, how I know what they're going through, being a veteran coach all the time. And I'm talking individually, not as a team. So when we have to discuss it as a team, it's a normal conversation for us, because you have to understand that everybody outside of our locker room, and I'm not judging people, because I'm a parent. You know, when you parents, agents, former coaches, they're concerned about their player, not our team. And that's okay. Just like I'm a parent. I mean, I go to watch, Campbell Hall's spring musical, which unfortunately I'll miss. I'll have to watch on film. I'm watching Samantha Cronin. First of all, I'm not qualified to tell you anything about it, and if it's any good, I know. I mean, it'd be comical for me to even understand what's going on in a theater. I have to ask a 16-year-old to explain it to me, but I'm looking at it from that lens. So, I talk to them all the time about, you have to be able to filter that, because people love you and they're supposed to worry about you and your situation, but we have to worry about us if we're going to win. So that's what, so it's good. And it goes right to your question. Looking ahead is a waste of time. You got to get better every day. The biggest thing, back to, it goes to social media and the 24-hour news cycle, is there's an old movie with Demi Moore, Michael Douglas, and I can't remember the name of it. And they kept saying there was a company and they had to solve they had a problem, but they were distracted. Behind the scenes, they kept saying, solve the problem, solve the problem.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know the movie,
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it. So I tell my guys, it's no different than why Tony Gwynn was a great hitter. Keep your eye on the ball. Solve the problem. Get better. Worry about getting better. If you get better, our team will get better. Okay? Don't worry about the way I talk to you. If I took you out of the game, what somebody on the outside is telling you. Because now you're worrying about all the wrong things. And it's hard on these guys. This day and age, it's hard. High school programs have message boards. It's ridiculous. So you got to solve the problem, which is constantly get better, like the greatest players have always done. Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. Constantly, you got to solve the problem. What is the problem that you can control? Because even if I'm wrong, and you're right, I should be playing you more. You should shoot more. You can't control that. Solve the problem. Get better today. That's what we can accomplish. So I try to teach them to focus on that, not officiating, not our seed come selection Sunday. I tell you, that's for me.
Disclosure.
Disclosure, there you go. You got to solve the problem and focus on getting better, not where you're ranked.
We talk a lot about Dave's leadership. Did he say something to you after you got the technical against Stanford?
Yeah, I think he thought I was real. I wasn't trying to get a tee. So I got upset because I got an unwarranted tee from a guy I wasn't even talking to. So I think Dave thought I was like going to lose my mind. So he was like, "Don't get thrown out, coach. Don't get thrown out." I was like, "I'm good, Dave. I don't even want to get that tee." Yeah. He was like, "Don't get thrown out." Dave, the older guys have been here. They want to win the Pac-12. Like here, I always talk about, you got to prepare. I always talk about solve the problem. We got to get better. We got to be ready come March. But they want to win. I can tell you, I'm just being, not that we don't want to win the Pac-12, but here at UCLA, we talk about get better, become a better person, become a better player, and get ready for March. They want to win. There's no question they do want to win that. It's something they haven't done.
And that helped you this week, I'm assuming. With everybody.
When you have seniors that have a sense of urgency, that have unreal character, and they're good players, it makes your job easier. We've struggled to score. We've won at Utah since I've been here, but we've struggled to score there. And we're gonna. Their wings are big. They've done a great in their last 5 games, they've really dominated people on the glass, and that's going to be a challenge for us.
They got 2 guys that look like they're going to be out. How's
Naming?
that changed their?
You had investigative skills. Help me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell me, right?
You know who they are. You don't know?
Well, Madsen's been out.
You're right, and then the
Booster, I think.
yeah.
Oh, did they
That's-
say he? I know.
I don't know.
I saw
They
him
don't know
go
for sure.
down. I was
Yeah.
hoping.
They're saying he's very unlikely to play.
Oh, that's
so
a shame for him. I mean, see, you always still play 5-on-5, though, buddy. We played a month without Amari. We lost 1. You know, a lot of those are road games too. So, you know, they still get to play 5. So to change the configuration of the game a little bit. I mean, I saw him go down, but you know, I didn't know how bad it was. I figured he'd have enough time to recover. So, you know, you still, unless they announce he's not playing, you got to prepare that he might. But still 5-on-5. It's still, you know, Craig's still a great coach. It's still going to be hard to score. Like I said, if you look at our wins up there, they were grinding wins. It's not like we were able to go light it up there.
Talked about Amari's maturity for his age and his.
Well, his work ethic. You know, he practices really hard.
I'm going to go the flip side, though. When I talked to him last week, he said in some ways he's a big goofball. I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that side of him?
No, he is young. But he flips a switch when it's time to compete. Yeah, he definitely flips the switch when it's time to compete. You know, like all young guys, they've never had to pay attention in scouting report as long as you have to at this level to every detail. I mean, it's, you know, their head. Like Jaime talked to. We were talking to eating lunch. You know, we always eat after practice outside. It's really rough here in Westwood. We have it's recruiting spiel. We eat outside at 70 degrees around 1 o'clock after practice. And you know, Jaime was talking about how his time's coming short and how as a freshman, first couple months he thought he was terrible. He didn't know if he'd ever play because it's, you know, he goes, I turned it over. You were all over me. You know, I thought I stunk. I just played at a high school where it was easy, you know, now where he's at now. And he was just talking about, you know, you just got to push through it. It's hard. You know, it's just such a big jump for kids to this level from the expectations. Then just go play. So that's an adjustment. But yeah, he definitely, you know, Mari flips a switch and plays really hard.
How's Kenneth looking?
He was moving better yesterday, so, you know, I have hope, but until he can do a live play, so we got 2 days to figure it out.
What do you think of Mac this week?
You know, Max struggled. Are you talking about his play?
Yeah.
There's been days, it's a really interesting day. He's had like this perpetual sinus thing. Like I had it for like 3 weeks after Christmas and couldn't get, like I thought I'd never get rid of this cough. It was unreal. This poor kid, I mean, he needs an NIL deal with Kleenex. I mean, it's just been an unbelievable battle for him. So there's like literally days where he can't breathe. He's got it so bad, but he played through it. I'm gonna tell you the best thing about Mac in the Cal game, if you noticed. I was trying to run a play for Mac to get the ball late in the game. He completely aborted it and was running around trying to get Russ a shot. So if that'll tell you about our team. You know, he was just focused on getting Russ a shot. Of course, Russ blew it. The whole place was about to go nuts. You know, Russ, no, I'm just messing with you. At least he got the free throws. But that's about Mac, you know. So again, you know, it's tough for a kid. He took 2 face-up shots as he's really good at. They didn't go in, but in practice. He obviously plays all the time, so I want him to take those. That's his shot. You don't get to see it as much as because you're not in here all the time. And he took it, so I was just happy that he took those shots.
Do you think the kids enjoy the moment right now? Like, are they...
I tell them to. I'm big on that. So, like, what I tell them is you can't let the noise and the outsiders shoplift your experience. Can't let the outsiders shoplift your experience. You know, by constantly telling you it should be about you're not shooting enough, or you need to transfer, or you need to go in the draft, and you need to have as much fun as you can right now, as much fun as you can right now, because like the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when he did talk to our team, told him that he said that's the easiest question you got. The guy said, "What was the best experience you ever had in basketball?" Jalen Clark asked him, and he said that's the easiest question I've been asked all day, playing at UCLA.
Miles, did he pick up the deflections bone after the game? He said he was going to.
Well, Amari got it, so he was.
Okay.
Amari was hyped. I think it was his first high deflection, so
Okay.
he was running for the bone. We got in the locker room.
Okay.
So.
You saw Miles and Jules at the game?
Oh yeah. No, they were immediately. Miles's jeans were way too tight for a guy that big. Jules is awesome. He's just such a great guy. He was telling me, his sister's, she's out of Riverside, I think, playing volleyball. So we were talking about that. But back to your question, though, I'm big. They gotta enjoy it. Can't let other people, because it's the best time they'll ever have playing basketball. Because the NBA is about drama, contracts. Very few guys having fun up there.
It's true.
That the Society of the Miserable Millionaires.
There should be a book title.
It's unbelievable.
That's
It's really amazing. It's Society of the Miserable Millionaires. But you got every Bruin. We have some great, obviously, former players here. Everyone that's come here to talk to the team tells them the same thing. Every one of them. I don't tell those guys what to say. That this is the best time you'll ever have, man. And not only is it because college basketball, you're with your buddies, you're playing to win, you're not worried about all this other stuff that goes on with it in that society. But you're also getting to do it here. Where it's 340 days a year, the weather's perfect you're walking around campus, and Michael Douglas is probably walking his dog past your way to class. I mean, come on, man. Right. And not only is it college basketball, look where you're going to school, man. So you gotta enjoy it. I don't know if he's bringing Jaime in here. Like, Jaime's literally like depressed that it's going to be over.
Sure.
That's how much he loves being here. Now he probably ain't. He's probably going to have had enough of me. Which I understand. I get enough of me at times. But he, really, he really, he said that. Like, he's like, I'd stay 5 more years if I could. So, well, his NIL's not big enough. So. All right, guys, you talk to Tiger.
Thank you.
Thank
He's
you.
smarter than me.